caveman walking through the dark.
Hey guys, we're gonna start this video again with some little voiceovers because my camera is finally broke, so I really have to buy a new one in order to get proper footage. But I'm gonna show you a little sequence from last week, how we started to really clean up the van because it's been a mess. But not only we're going to clean up the mess, we're also going to change little things here and there in the van because I'm gonna do some little conversions with it. After almost 1 year on the road, I finally figured out what I really need, especially for the next coming winter, because I decided for my next journeys that I wanted to go to the UK and the van has to be ready for it. I'm staying at his place at the moment. He just lives here.
Right there.
I'm gonna redo some little things in this car because you know me, I always find new things to change in the car somehow. Yesterday we bought this tool because I need to cut some wood, but I'm trying to not make it look used so we can change it and get the money back. And as you probably remember in my other videos how I was always complaining about the sink and how I could never wash anything in it, and that's why I decided on getting a bigger one. This is not a real sink, this is more something for the garden, I think, to put some plants inside. But we're gonna transform this piece into a portable sink, so I want to simply just put it into without a pipe running through like it is here at the moment. You see the pipes? So this is the pipe at the moment that I had. It used to run through this little sink going down into another canister, but I felt like after a while using this, especially in the heat, wasn't the best solution because it would smell if you don't change it often. And I'm lazy, and the sink was way too small, so I decided now to have a portable sink, which we're gonna transform a little bit first. I still gonna use that water pump so the water comes up, but I can just wash the dishes and take it out really easily, put it out like the water or something, so I don't have the weight with me. And I don't know, after almost a year I'm figuring out this is the kind of maybe smarter solution. Maybe. I decided really shortly that I want to drive to the UK, probably in autumn. I'm kind of feeling a change of landscape, a change of diversity in food and people, and I was always on my bucket list to see Ireland, the UK and the Highlands because I'm a big fan of medieval times. This is actually my plan for the future, so I'm gonna drive back up to France to take either the tunnel or the ferry to England. I don't know yet, but I also have to organize some things. I have some stuff coming. I want to also check on the engine. I'm gonna do that in the next video because I'm leaking a little bit on oil and I want to figure out where's it coming from. We might even have to check it on a mechanic so I can see if I can fix it myself or not. So everything is still like really raw, but luckily I can stay at the moment with him and he has an apartment. I have water running, I have everything well sorted that I only can take care fully to prep up the van again for better and bigger adventures, especially when I go to the UK and yeah, all that stuff. But today we're gonna just simply change the sink. And we're gonna start to put some silicone in here because you see there's some lines that go through, although nothing in the back implies that water could leak out because it's really sealed, but we don't want it to rust from the inside, so we're gonna put up some silicone in here. That was my first idea around this, so no water can come inside. So we have the silicone prepped up. I cut it open, and here, is that open already? It's open. And then I have this I have this with me in the car, my gun. I think someone forgot it here once when I went to the mechanic. It's not mine for sure. Someone forgot it in the car and now it's mine. I don't know, it's just, I don't know if it's the proper way to do it. I just do it how I think. Oh, it's invisible one, even better. So now, oh shit, I have to do it with my hands a little bit more. Is that even silicone or glue? Wait a second. Oh, silicone, yeah.
I can't take.
And you can really see that the sink is really small, almost the size of my phone, and it makes it really hard to wash the pots. A normal kitchen pot that you would use in the kitchen really doesn't even fit in. It makes such a mess. You really have to be careful that the water doesn't spill around. In order to take out the sink, I firstly cut off the old silicone with a knife, and once you cut it off, you can just simply lift it up and take it out. As next I was trying to get the water tap out, it was a little bit difficult because it was really tiny, the space, and a little bit difficult to reach the little screw that was holding the water tap in place. So I really had to crawl under and unscrew it. And you see, this is the black part that was holding the tap in place. I grabbed into my black little bag where I always store my little electronical pieces and cables. As you see, the sink is working through electronic, and it was connected with the pump and the battery as well, in order to get the water up. Once the water tap was out, I would decide that I place it in a different spot for the new sink. I also took the new sink and draw the lines on the wood and to decide where I would place it. I realized afterwards that the sink wouldn't fit in perfectly because of the wall, so I had to take off one of those handles in order to make it fit perfectly. So we ripped off the handle here on this side, so we can easily push it more to the wall because it was here, and then the door would be just like right there to close. You know, if it goes down, then it has to go down a little bit more. Drew with the pencil the sizes of the box. So this is how it's gonna look, because I had the sink here. I had a little bit of wasted space, so now I can use it, kind of thing. I can use this space. We put the sink, the handle right here on this side.
For another day.
The coolest thing for me was still that I could use the little saw in my own home with the 600 watts converter that I had. I specifically chose a 500 watts machine, which was below the converter because I knew I need to use it. And luckily the car was standing in the sun, so the battery was pretty full.
This tin can, and you're so very far.
It was definitely a challenge to saw the wood in this tiny little space, and also to go around the curves when you literally have no space at all. Cutting the wood, especially next to the wall, was really difficult, and you see, to cut it all really smoothly and round was so hard. It actually upset me a little bit afterwards. It took me about an hour to cut out the woods, and I used sanding paper afterwards to smooth out the edges. Since I'm the opinion that YouTube and every other social media channel is for learning and inspiration, and I know I have a lot of girls watching me, we can never learn to less. So I'm gonna explain you real short the differences in the sanding papers, just as a little side knowledge to learn. I used in this video a 360 grain sandpaper, which means the grains are really fine. You'll see it if you go ever to the brico market, you will see it in the grains. And the finer it is, the bigger the number, the finer the smooth out will be. The smaller the number it is, let's say 80, the bigger the grains will feel, and you will feel it on the paper and take way more wood out. We were smart enough to put a napkin underneath so we don't make an even bigger mess as we did already. I'm gonna do this now. As you probably see, this is not really cut perfectly, but I tried my best because, you know, I don't have much space and everything, so I tried to make the best in the car with this what I have. You know, it's always a struggle when you kind of just want to change the car on the spot. But I've been keep doing it because I always find new things or ideas that are maybe better.
Come on, people, this is almost perfectly cut.
Not really.
Oh my god.
Well, I'm kind of not really that happy anymore. I cut out all the wood and everything, and then I put the sink in, but I couldn't cut it out really nicely, and I realized now it's kind of a big hole in between, and it just means whenever water drips on the sides, it just runs down. And I could put silicone in it, but I wanted to have a portable one so that I can just take it out and in. Unless I put all silicone around it and I leave it just as a normal sink and make a hole so it can run down underneath. But this is also kind of not really what I wanted. So I'm a little bit, I don't know what to do right now. I kind of don't really like what I did. It's kind of, I was kind of got a bit grumpy and me and Joao had a little fight. Actually, it was my fault because I got grumpy because of that and he was just on the phone, and then I was feeling like, why you're not helping? Yeah, I don't really get often grumpy, but when it's about the van, I feel like, oh, you know, everything is so sensitive. So the last 1 hour, I got the wood that I cut. I got like tiny pieces like this, and I glued them actually with super glue back on here because this hole was way too big. You could see it if the sink was in. And then of course, because I put the handle out on the other side of the sink here, it wouldn't hold up this end, of course, so I built something like this. So this would just lift it up so the sink is even on one level. So when I put it back in, it looks like that. Although the sink fits in really good, still there were those big holes that were so annoying, and I just got so grumpy because of that. From the distance it looks quite good. Although it was cut out really badly, at the same time it was really good because the pots actually now really fit in there and I can wash the dishes. I even decided that I would put the water tap this time on the left side of the sink. Okay, I had a little moment of frustration and Joao came back because he went upstairs because I was a bit grumpy, and then he came back because he saw my story and he gave me a hug and said, oh, everything's gonna be okay. So I feel a bit better now. Sorry guys, but you know, that's life. Things go wrong sometimes. And then I remembered, come on, you Susie, you got this, you got this, you know, you fixed so many things already, so this is gonna be fine, even if I have to do it all over again and buy a complete new wood thing. So I glued a part here. I think it's okay. Maybe if I paint this now in the color, it doesn't look so visible anymore. Unfortunately, the edges are a little bit broke. For me, the thing is just that I'm really perfectionist in terms, especially with everything that's kind of creative. And when I don't have it my way, I can get a bit grumpy and annoyed. I think that's pretty much one of the only times when I'm like not happy with my work or happy with myself, with the work I've done.
For everybody else.
Yeah. Like I just like when work is there. When work has to be done, it has to be done. And no one should be lazy in that time, you know. Like here?
Yeah.
Do you think here? Or a bit closer?
Here.
Here?
Mm-hmm.
I'm nervous. Does it go stronger? Is that the strongest you have?
I told you it's not really good.
Oh, you have it on 1.
I don't know if the 15 is stronger.
It's gonna
I
be
hope
stronger.
it is.
Oops. You're on the left side instead of the right side, how it used to be. And now when you look down, because I'm trying to clean the mess, you know, I had my food box all the time over there, right? My food. And now I put it down here because I have more space without the empty water canister, which is actually just dirty water. So kind of a waste of space. And now I can just put the food down here with the water and my sauces, and this is like the whole food and water area. area. After all, I still have to test the sink. I'm pretty happy. Although the build out wasn't quite perfectly as I imagined it, I'm pretty sure that this is much more handier to have a bigger sink and a portable sink, so you can throw the dirty water out right away. And especially with a small van like I have, saved some space under the sink to store some other stuff instead of a dirty water canister with dirty water and driving around with that. I hope you enjoyed that video, guys. I'll see you soon, and I have a little surprise, a really big dream that I made come true, but I'll show you that in the next few videos. I'll see you soon, guys. Bye. Penya's birthday yesterday. I bought him a pizza, a dog pizza. Dog's pizza with salami, and that's his present that he's going to eat in a bit. Lekker. It actually smells good.
Let's eat a little bit.
Smell it.
It does.
Oh, baby. Happy birthday.
Put it on a pizza.
Come here, Penny. Come here.
On a pizza.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday
Ah.
to you.
Hold him.
No, he's not gonna go. Happy birthday. Yeah, is my phone charged? Happy birthday. Oh, it's off.
What the hell?
No, both is off.
This is not really candles. So happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Penny. Happy birthday to you. Yay!
Blow, blow it. Blow it.
Fine.
Ooh, lekker. It smells like pizza. It smells like salami.
I'm just one man, and none of these are true. I'd be any man if that man were with you.